People living across Maui in Hawaii still cannot return home after wildfires destroyed parts of the island. At least 96 people are dead, many more missing at this hour. Nearly 2,200 acres have been destroyed. However, there is some good news amid the tragedy. The fire in Lahaina is now around 85% contained. Now, those fires completely destroyed the historic town of Lahaina. Families there have nothing to return to. You see the aftermath on your screen, piles of burnt metal and ash. But amid the tragedy, people are still finding ways to come together and to help each other through the next days and weeks. Tony Dokoupil is there with more.
As we walk toward the water, we see it, another sign of the unspeakable destruction not far away.
Hey, how are you?
The Maui Magic is full of tourists on most days, but now it's full of relief supplies about to depart for Lahaina. The families there have lost nearly everything.
We have families and friends. Everything's gone.
Everything's gone?
They ran out of their house with only a shirt on their back.
A lot of people just barely got out.
And we can't help but notice the toys.
Where'd you get all this?
Community.
Everybody.
People from all over the island.
Currently, the only way into Lahaina by car is 20 miles north up the West Maui Mountains, where police are checking IDs and limiting access to residents like the Guvera family. While they're bringing a Sunday load of relief supplies to their church, they're also dealing with a grief of their own.
I'm still looking for friends and close family.
Wow.
I just want to let the world know it's worse than they think.
Worse than they think.
Yeah.
Down the mountain and seemingly far away from the fire lines, we find a family doing what a week ago might have seemed impossible.
Hey, how are you?
Sleeping 20 family members in a 3-bedroom house.
So 18 people who don't usually live here are now here?
Yeah.
People in every room.
We basically have the floor pillows, futons.
3 generations made homeless by the fires and not sure what comes next. Rest here for some is hard to come by, and not because of the crowd.
Yeah, you close your eyes, you can kind of just see all the town, especially, you know, all the smoke, and then a lot of people was running down the hill.
We asked if they had any pictures of themselves together in Lahaina. And of course, the phones came out.
Everybody in this photo is now here?
Yes.
Wow.
Christmas, birthdays, a particularly favorite backyard. All scenes from 4 different family homes burned to the ground by the wildfires.
It's just hitting us because I just seen it so much. And now it's like so real.
And they tell us if Lahaina was already a tight community, now it's even more so.
It's pretty inspiring to see all the families in Lahaina that lost everything and still have the decency and go back and help everyone else.
Yeah. And Tony joins us now. It's clear from your report people are traumatized and still managing with what they experienced. I would guess they don't have time to be angry at the lack of warning because they're trying to survive right now. What has jumped out to you the most, Tony?
You know, I think Errol and Chanel, what's most remarkable is and I've had this experience now with dozens of people in conversation. They may have lost their home. They may have lost all the things that previously had mattered to them in the world, all the physical things. But they say, it's just stuff. It's remarkable how quickly people have been able, particularly here on Maui, to say that happened. It was terrible, but we're going to move forward. And they're doing so. I think part of living on an island, as remote as Hawaii, which is one of the most remote in the world, is that you develop self-reliance and values of community that have literally been life-saving in the fire and now will be life-saving in the aftermath. So there's a feeling like the government help has been promised, it will come or it won't come, but the people of Maui, the people of Lahaina will have each other. And what I've learned, one of the most important things I've learned here is just that that's a whole heck of a lot.
I wonder what people there, Tony, need right now when it comes to the immediate help, and if there are any challenges getting the help that they need right now.
Well, so there is the challenge of this being an island, which means everything has to be on a boat or a plane to get here, and the train is mountainous and a bit treacherous in getting it into Lahaina. There's only one road in that they have open right now. Most of the people, in fact, all the people are at shelter locations, so then you've got to coordinate distribution. And the needs are surprisingly basic. People need a cot or a sleeping bag, an air mattress. Even if you've got a family home or a friend you can stay with, maybe someone else is on the couch, you need a little floor space. So there's little points of comfort that we would take for granted. There's been rolling power outages in part to prevent additional flare-ups, the risk of fire, and so the appliances, the stove in some cases, is not working, and so people need hot meals. And then, when you leave a house quickly and you have kids, you leave without getting all the stuff that comes with kids, right? Think about the size of a bag that a parent takes out of the house when they go anywhere, to the park with their kid, to their friend's house with their kid. I mean, it's loaded with toys and things. That kind of stuff is gone. It's been burned. So one of the relief efforts that we saw had piles of games, stuffed toys, Matchbox cars, coloring books, things that kids could use. And so people need that as well.
And Tony, I know that you couldn't access, and some residents couldn't return to some of the hardest hit areas because there are so many people still missing and they need to account for where they went. Do you have a sense of when people will have access to those areas, or where that effort stands?
So this is an evolving question of access to Lahaina. That's the hardest hit area. For about 5 days after the fire, people were able to get in. And then on Saturday, there was a big crackdown. Journalists weren't allowed in. Some residents weren't allowed in. They struggled to get in. The lines were very long. It was chaotic. Some local officials said there was almost a riot. There was certainly an altercation. People were not pleased. And now they're metering entry. There's one road in, and you go in a big loop, and you have to show a resident ID to get in. Generally speaking, on the roads at least, they're not letting journalists through, but they are letting people who live there in. But even if they get in, they're restricted to certain areas, and the delicate and simple reason is that the vast majority of the burned residential area has not been searched for bodies. And the reality of Lahaina is it's got a significant elderly population, it's got a significant non-English speaking population, and the thought is the warning system wasn't great as is, but it might have been particularly difficult for some of the people in Lahaina to heed those warnings and to get out. And so they think that the death toll will grow by the dozens, if not the hundreds. And right now there are dogs in the ash, in the charred remains, looking for human remains. And then once you find human remains, and this is all difficult stuff to talk about, but the way it's been described to us by the governor is if you try to move those remains, they're ash. They just crumble in your hands. And so these are people's loved ones. These are remains that people want to take back to their community and properly bury or pass on. And so it's a very slow, painstaking process. And so we're looking at least a week. We were told 10 days of continued finding of remains, and that was yesterday. So we're looking at least a week of still this situation where you can go in maybe if you're a resident, but you can't go everywhere. And then on top of that, I won't even get into it, but there's talk of the biohazards, right? You remember after 9/11, the air was filled with ash and people had lung issues. There's a significant amount of ash down there, and there's a lot of wind. So there are questions about just how healthy it is to be walking around in general.
Yeah.
Grim days ahead.
Just such a horrifying situation. Tony, thanks so much.